It's been a long time, but I'm back. This is Swami Lee here with SwamiLee's Sports Talk. This is an introduction to our new season. We expect to have some great special guests, and we're going to have a lot of Phillies talk, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, really depending upon how you look at it. The off season's been pretty good so far, if you can look beyond the obvious problems with the lockout, which is another story by itself. But we're going to talk a little bit about just a quickie. This is going to be one of those quick videos where we just talk a little bit about the upcoming season and what we're looking for. What we're looking for is, first of all, a playoff team. If they do not make the playoffs, I don't even know what to say if they don't make the playoffs. Not only do they have one of the most potent offenses in baseball, they have potential in the starting rotation. That's a key word, potential. Zach Wheeler, as of this moment, is not quite 100%. He's probably going to miss his first start of the year, if not more than that, and could be a problem. Nola looked horrible last year, and I have nothing better to say, but he looked horrible. You have to hope he comes back at least as a number 2, number 3 type starter. Kyle Gibson is also a number 2/number 3 starter. So they're going to be okay right there if the two of them stay healthy and can at least deliver, career average type performances. I think neither one of them is going to be great by any means. You have Ranger Suarez, who last year was unhittable, except right now, let's not count on that to happen again this year. If Suarez has a good year, we'll all be happy. 13-10, 3.50, I'll be ecstatic. Zach Eflin, I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if Zach Eflin is even going to be a major leaguer this year. He's been hurt now for year after year after year. The problem is the number 6 starter is Prayer. No, not a guy named Prayer. Because there is nothing in the system right now who could be the number 5 starter if Eflin is not ready. So this team's got some problems, but also some potential in the rotation. I think the addition of Brad Hand is big. They should have signed him last year. They probably were a playoff team if they had. Sir Anthony has looked great in the spring training so far. But Juris Familia, he's like Hector Neris light. He's actually worse than Hector Neris. So if you're going to pay somebody, you might as well bring back Hector Neris. I don't understand that move. Maybe he'll be okay, but I would not hold my breath. The rest of the bullpen, you got pieces like Connor Brogdon. Hey, he's okay. I mean, he's nothing great, but he's okay. Archie Bradley's gone. Good riddance. He was okay last year, but that's it. And you got a bunch of pieces. You got a bunch of mediocre players in the minors. Christopher Sanchez pitched the other day and looked pretty good. Maybe he'll be something decent. You never know. But let's get to the part that everybody wants to talk about, and that's the offense. This offense could be a beast. Hoskins, we know what he brings to the table, and that's 25 home runs, 85 RBIs, and a 250 batting average, and mediocre defense. You've got Segura, assuming he's going to play second. He's going to hit 280 with a little bit of power and average defense. Shortstop is probably going to be Gregorius to open the season with Stott waiting in the wings. Who knows what to expect from Didi? I mean, last year he was awful. I would expect him to be a little better this year with mediocre defense. Third base right now is the Matador, Alec Bohm. The guy cannot field. I don't understand why, but he cannot field. Hopefully he will learn a little bit. He may end up in AAA to start the season because they're infatuated with Johan Camargo. He's a nice little utility player. We had him last year. His name was Ronald Torreyes, who, by the way, the Phillies have in camp this year. I'd rather live and die with Baum, and if he's no good, he's no good, and we call it a day. But the rumors of him getting traded because, they're going to get some, 37-year-old washed-up middle reliever probably. No. For heaven's sake, give the guy a shot. He had a rough year, and he has not looked good in spring training. You can give him April and May. If he's bad on June 1st, send him down to the minors. But for heaven's sake, he was your first pick. You've already failed with Moniak, the overall number 1 pick in the draft. You failed with Halsley. He's horrible. He can't hit either. That was 2 top 10 picks in a row. Bohm is your 3rd top 10 pick in a row. You can't fail with 3 top 10 picks in a row. Shame on you if you did. Now, we can all be happy when we talk about the outfield because you have Schwarber and Castellanos between DH and left field. Both should have pretty good years. You should get at least 60 home runs if they're healthy, maybe 70 from the pair. Not much defense, and that's going to be a problem. Center field is a no-brainer. Matt Verling looked great last year. Now, is he great? I have no idea. You have no idea. But give the guy a shot. He had a really strong year last year in his 80 or whatever at bats it was. And again, if he fails, he fails. But you gave him a shot. Odubel's hurt, and honestly, Odubel's not worth having on the roster anyway. I'd like to see Mickey Moniak get a shot, but you know something? The team doesn't like him anymore. They've all but given up on Moniak. So, Mickey, it was nice knowing you. If you're still on this team opening day, and I mean in the organization, I'll be surprised. Obviously, right field is set with Bryce Harper. Obviously, catcher is set with JT. So you've got one of the most solid lineups in baseball, although one of the weakest defenses. We hope to have a separate video involved with the defense itself we'll talk about. But right now, we just wanted to kind of come back, reintroduce ourselves. It's been a while. We haven't been around. Coming back and discussing what hopefully is a strong Phillies season. It is a good one, I do hope. I have my concerns. I always have my concerns. I'm confident every year, and the team kind of falls apart every year, usually in the end of the year. If the team does not make the playoffs, I don't know if I bring Girardi back if I was the GM. As great as his pedigree might be, 3 years, the $200 million payroll, and you can't make the playoffs once, including a 12-team expanded playoff. I think, in the immortal words of the guy from the movie Tom Horn, Tom, it's time. But again, we have a whole year to go. We've got a great offense. We've got at least average, if not better than average, starting pitching. We've got below average to average bullpen. But bullpens change year to year. A pitcher could be Cy Young out of the bullpen, or I guess I should say Bruce Sutter, or in these days, Mariano Rivera 1 year, and he could be Matt Moore the next year. Usually he's Matt Moore when he comes to the Phillies, and then he leaves the Phillies and becomes Mariano Rivera the next year. But seriously speaking, I believe this team has a lot of potential. We'll be spending a lot more time talking about this Phillies and their roster before the season begins. This is just the preview episode of the new season of SwamiLee's Sports Talk. We'll have some episodes reminiscing about some old-time players. We'll have some episodes talking about the current team and how it's doing. If anything controversial pops up, like the rumor of Alec Bohm being traded, hey, if you can get one of those Oakland starting pitchers for him, I'll drive Alec to Oakland myself. But if you're going to end up getting some marginal 31-year-old, pitcher with 47 career wins and a 4.62 ERA, which is what the Phillies usually do, absolutely not. I'm not looking to trade him, but with the signing of Castellanos and Schwarber, they could certainly survive with a lesser player at third base. Camargo, maybe Didi at third, Stott at shortstop, or something along those lines. So thank you for tuning in to SwamiLee's Sports Talk, the preview episode, and look for episode 1 of the new season to debut real soon, and look for us to discuss the roster before opening day and see who makes it and see who does not make it. The prediction I will make is that Mickey Moniak will not be part of this organization come the first game of the season, I guess I should say. Although, hey, anything is possible. They don't like him. Hazley has a chance to at least maybe make the team. They've already cut Luke Williams. He'll be playing somewhere else next this year, which is a shame. Nice little reserve player, could play anywhere. And Maton should make the team, I would think. Backup catcher will be interesting to see who makes that spot. But I think Rafael Marchand is the future at backup, unless they trade him and they can get a decent trade out of him. Maybe him and Baum for a number 2 starter. Depending on the starter, maybe not a bad idea. Anyway, thank you again for tuning in to SwamiLee's Sports Talk Preview Edition. I am Swami Lee, and I look forward to you tuning in and us talking some baseball. Thanks so much. Enjoy your season, and we'll see you soon.